Now, for today's video, I'm going to be talking about this topic that has kept popping up in my news feed, in my Twitter feed, Instagram, YouTube, all over the place. And basically, to dive right into what this is about, it's basically about a guy named Chris Chan who apparently had with his mother.
What?
Yes, you heard that right. This guy, 39-year-old Chris Chan, for some disgusting reason, had the audacity to his 79-year-old mother. Now, if this isn't a sign of the times that we're living in, then I don't know what is. And I'm gonna be honest, I heard about this story about a week ago and I was totally confused as to who this guy was. And according to the Daily Mail, Chris Chan, YouTube trans star, 39, has been arrested on incest charges after her 79-year-old dementia sufferer mother. Now, I'm gonna be honest, that has to be the craziest title that I've ever read in my entire life. It honestly sounds like some sick, twisted fantasy created by some psychopath in some made-up, disturbing, X-rated novel. In any case, it says here, 39-year-old transgender vlogger and artist who goes by the name Christine Weston Chandler was booked into the Henrico County Jail in Virginia on Sunday on a felony count of which is punishable by up to 12 years in prison. And I hope this person serves the maximum sentence for this vile crime against his mother and humanity. They say, according to a press release from the county law enforcement, a warrant was issued for Chandler's arrest after investigators received information involving crimes against a family member who resides in the Ruckersville area. Now, the reports they must have been from the YouTube video that I seen, which was leaked by somebody who recorded a phone conversation they had with Chris, where Chris admitted to having sex with his mother in the most casual way possible, as if it was completely normal.
How, if you don't mind me asking, I know that's probably personal, you have to answer, but how is this?
I'd say it was satisfactory. It took a while. It took a few tries to...
It took a few tries, yeah.
And when I watched that YouTube video of the phone call that he had with this person, I'm not entirely sure who they are. The girl on the phone asked Chris, when did he start having feelings for Barbara, which is his mother's name? And he said, obviously, for a while now, that he would often have dreams where he was having sex with her.
Well, for a long time, I mean, I remember even mentioning some time ago in one of my videos that I even had dreams where I had sex with her, obviously.
Really?
So,
yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, that's right. The Oedipus complex.
Oh, Oedipus, that's right, yeah. Yeah, that's right.
And by the way, for those of you who don't know what the Oedipus complex is, as per Google, they say the Oedipus complex is a complex of emotions aroused in a young child, typically around the age of 4, by an unconscious sexual desire for the parent of the opposite sex and wish to exclude the parent of the same sex. You guys should basically get the gist of it. If a son is sexually attracted to his mom and wants the father out of the family, out of the relationship, he has this complex. And if a daughter is sexually attracted to her father and sees her mom as a threat to her subconscious goal of getting with her dad, then she also has the complex as well. But at one point in this conversation, the person who was talking to Chris asked, how did you make the first move? And this is what he said.
But, how did you approach her?
I approached her with care and caution.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a time approach. So I just gave her comfort and talked with her, and we just branched out slow and steady, and then I encouraged her positively, let her make the first move.
Like, what does that even mean? He approached her with care and caution? Like, is he trying to act as if he was trying to make his mother comfortable before proceeding to do what he did to her? What a sicko, man. But then the caller proceeded to ask Chris another question pertaining how his mother responded to his sexual advances.
And how did she respond when you approached her? What did she say?
I don't remember exactly what she said, but it was I think she was partially confused at one point, but then she came around, obviously, with the more approaching than I was doing with her along the way.
Right. So she got into it. How was the first kiss? You kissed her? How did that feel? Having known this woman for your whole life, how did that feel?
Oh yeah, I mean, it was simple lip to lip kiss contact, but yeah, it was actually good and it felt right.
And keep in mind, if she was confused at the time, it was because, well, this is her son, and what mother wouldn't be confused if their son was trying to do this to them? And also, she has dementia. And as we all know, dementia is an illness that primarily plagues old people, and it causes memory loss, language problems, problem solving, and other thinking abilities. It's a very life-threatening illness, and people with dementia are often very confused about where they are, how they got to certain places, and can often be taken advantage of by people like Chris, who exploit their vulnerabilities and weakened state. And it's honestly very sad how a son could even think about doing this to his mother, but you know.
It's an evil world we live in.
Also, evidently, in August 2016, Chris made a Facebook post defending a mother and son in Mexico who reportedly said that they were in love. He said in the post, although incest is quite a controversial topic, there are circumstances where there would be not so much harm as one may think, feel, or believe. He goes on to say at the time that the child is over 18, the mother is unable to have any more children at the time, birth control and protection is available and can be used. Also consider if the child is adopted, not as much biological. So obviously in 2016, Christine was trying to defend a mother having sex with her son because, well, the son is over 18 and they can use birth control, as if that makes it any better. Like, ugh, people like this actually exist. He also, at the time, went on to say that unless the sex act was abusive, hurtful, or would result in an unwanted birth of a physical or mentally challenged child, I would not judge or persecute the parent and child, clearly projecting how he felt about his mother at the time. I would encourage the child to socialize more, maybe make it easier for the child to meet more people his or her age. Do not send the mother and son to jail. And you know, after reading this, I sincerely hoped that this case didn't exist, but you know, it actually did, because I actually found the article from the Daily Mail in 2017. Mother 37 and son 20, who fell in love 18 years after she gave him up for adoption, pled guilty to incest, and are ordered to stay away from each other, but insist they will stay together. And this is the mother, and this is the son. And here are their mugshots. And here's a picture of them kissing. And here's a picture that she took when he was born. They were arrested in February 2016 after a neighbor alerted police to their incestuous relationship. And this is absolutely disgusting. I'm sure we can all agree with that. Interestingly enough though, based on what I'm reading here, Chris Chan supposedly had a temper tantrum in his court hearing in front of the judge on Thursday, August 5th. And it also reveals that he was initially, after being arrested by law enforcement, was put in a jail for women. Now I'm gonna try to talk about this as delicately as possible since I know this is a touchy subject, but I'm not entirely sure what quantifies someone as being trans or not. If you're trans, like, are you considered trans in the middle of your process or only at the end of the process? Or do you not have to transition physically at all, but still identify as the opposite gender and be able to be placed in a female jailhouse? I'm not sure, and apparently the legal system isn't either, as Chris was initially placed in a woman's jailhouse, but then ultimately transferred to one for men. And interestingly enough, it says that custody records showed this week Chandler, which is Chris, was initially identified as female by the police who arrested him, but then Central Virginia Regional Jail's Captain Hoffman told reporters that the jail that Chris was staying in categorized Chris as male, with her gender being changed on the custody request system on Thursday morning. And the crazy thing is, I don't know how they're gonna deal with the situation, since we all know what's gonna happen to this guy once he goes to an all-male prison. Like, I genuinely don't believe that they're gonna be able to put him into general pop, which is general population, with the rest of the prisoners, because you guys already know what happens to people who mess with children in prison. Yeah, it's bad. So we can safely assume what's gonna happen to Chris once they find out what he did to his dementia-ridden mother, his mother who was probably not even aware of what was happening to her. I mean, it's just crazy. In any case, those are my thoughts. Obviously, I'm a newbie coming into this Chris Chan situation. There are other YouTubers out there who have years and years of experience talking about and covering this person, Chris Chan. So if you're interested in diving into the life of who this person is, you're free to do so. But in any case, thank you for watching. If you're new to the channel, subscribe and turn on all notifications so you can always know whenever I upload a video. Be sure to like and share the video so more people can see this. And with that being said, I appreciate all the support. And until next time, stay safe out there.